Welcome to Brazen Brits, the Hot Ones edition. Oh man, is my face on fire?
This is going to go downhill really fast. Damn it.
Do you know what I think this feels like? I imagine this is what it's like to have Botox. Hurry up. Please don't make me talk. So if you've ever been on the internet or ever been on YouTube, you've probably seen Hot Ones. Who's the channel name? First We Feast.
Yeah.
So they do a thing where they ask someone questions and they eat a chicken wing per question, and the longer it goes on, the hotter the wings get. So my buddy Jim here, he bought the set, and I'm not sure how this happened, but I thought it'd be a really good idea to interview him, which you'll find out the reason why that's relevant to the channel. And so he bought the sauces. And then I said, well, maybe we could come around and eat some chicken wings and do the Hot Ones thing. And he said, sure. And then his wife prepared everything for us. And me and Natalie are here, and we're just going to come around and eat chicken wings and talk. So thank you, Mel. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm very hungry.
I know he's ready. He's been bitching at us about being hungry for the last hour. Why don't you eat your first wing? This is the least hottest. This is... the dog just fell over. Right, this is the classic hot. Mm-hmm. Okay. Is it hot? No. So whilst you're eating that, Jim, why don't you tell us about yourself?
Live in the Washington, D.C. area. Work for a tech company. Worked with Lawrence for a very long time. Mm-hmm. Spent too much time playing video games, crashing drones, and making beer.
And you have a wife and two lovely kids.
Yeah. I do have a wife and two lovely kids.
That happened as well.
And a gorgeous Great Dane.
And a gorgeous Great Dane.
Who may or may not make an appearance.
Why don't you tell them why your story is relevant to our channel?
Growing up, when I was a little kid, we were seasonal at a campground in Avalon, New Jersey, on the Jersey Shore. And my dad worked in the city and would come down on the weekends. We were there all summer. After a while, he got sick of it and decided he was going to open a campground. So I was only 6 at the time. We moved to Maine. That was in the 80s, and then until the early 2000s, family owned a campground. So I grew up helping out and doing all sorts of crazy jobs. Yeah.
So this is amazing because me and Jim have known each other since 2006. Mm-hmm. Even when we were back in the UK, you came to visit the UK. Mm-hmm. Not especially to visit us. He came over for work and to drink beer, but we just happened to be there.
And they housed me. It was awesome.
So tell us about the campground.
So up in coastal Maine. It's called Duck Puddle Campground. Great place. Great place to grow up. It was right on the water. About 115 slots. And it was a campground, not an RV park. So now you guys go to a lot of RV parks, but it's not like your pull-throughs with, giant hookups and stuff. They have spots for huge campers. But it's really tailored more to families that are coming to spend a week there, go fishing, swimming. So actually stay at the campground as opposed to park at an RV park and go out and do stuff in the area. Though a lot of people do that too.
So did it have hookups?
Oh yeah, yep. There were some spots that didn't, but there were also spots where you could back in no problem, and most people could back in no problem. And the full hookups, everything. And there was a dumping station and stuff too, of course. But
so it was it? I mean, being in Maine, I'm guessing it was seasonal. You didn't have full timers there.
That's correct. Yeah, we had if I had to venture a guess, it could have been as high as like 30% of the spots were seasonal people. It's seasonal. They stayed there for the whole season, kind of like we did when we were up down in New Jersey. But yeah, it was only open from Memorial Day to Columbus Day.
I don't know if you want to tell us the ages you were there. No, actually, it would be better to say the years. When was this? Because this was a while back.
The middle of the 80s until early 2000s is when my family...
oh, really? I didn't know it was that long.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was
wow.
a long time. Once all us kids got old, and there was no one to do the work anymore. They had no staff. So yeah.
Okay, so on that, actually, this one was that number 3 we just ate.
No, that was number 2.
That was garlic and peperoncini.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, it was nice.
Well, what are you on to now? Barbados
style hot sauce. Okay, all right, number 3.
Cool. Barbados.
Barbados.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's nice.
That's really good.
Starting to tingle though. I'm on number 3. We've got 10 of these to do. Okay. So talking about that, as a child growing up in a campground, obviously you're only there during the summers and weekends.
You're the host. You're supposed to be able to handle this.
I know. Natalie's going to have to ask questions in a minute, I think. Problem is, the more I breathe, the more I talk, the harder it gets. So, as a kid growing up in a campground, what was the worst part about that?
Sometimes we couldn't. Kids were doing stuff that we wanted to do, but we couldn't necessarily do it because we had to be a little more respectful, or we'd be in. Your kids are misbehaving. It's their fault because it's your campground, and they encouraged our kids versus our kids encouraged your kids. And some of the really dumb stuff kids would do, we couldn't get into as much as maybe we would have liked to. Couldn't have misbehaved as much as we want.
But surely living in a campground over summer, you misbehaved.
Oh,
like,
God,
you say this. You say
no,
yeah,
exactly. No, we misbehaved all the time.
Like you misbehave as a grown ass adult.
I do. So basically, take all the things I do as an adult, blow things up, crash airplanes, that kind of remote airplanes, not real airplanes. And we did all that stuff as a kid. Yeah, but there were certain times where when it was really busy and we had to go do work. So we couldn't go goof off with the kids quite as all the time. We had to go clean up trash and pump toilets and stuff like that.
So you were literally camphosts.
Yeah,
you pumped toilets.
Yeah,
there was no septic.
There was but some of the spots. People would want the tank pumped out, and we had the septic pumping trucks. Great topic for dinner. Had the septic pumping trucks. We had one of those on a trailer. We called it the honey wagon. They always have a good name for those. And we'd have to go either pump out the portable toilets or some people's campers. Black tanks.
Really, black tanks.
Yeah,
you've seen my video.
You do the black
I'll
first.
Leave a link below.
Yeah, link below. Yeah, you do the black tank first, and then you do the gray water to flush it out. Yeah, I remember.
Was that the worst job?
No. The worst job, also related to the septic tanks, was climbing into the septic tank, holding tanks to pull the pumps out in the winter. That was the worst job.
You climbed into the septic
tank?
Yeah,
so there's a tank with a tank below it. So you go in the upper tank, and you have to pull the pump out to winterize it.
Wow.
Yeah. Sucked. That was the worst job.
Yeah. Thanks, Jim's dad. So what were the other worst jobs?
Doing the trash. That one really sucked when I was younger. So I was the kid who had to stand on the running board of the truck and dump all the trash can into the dump truck. And you get all kinds of stuff over it. It was super gross. But as I got older, it was one of the most fun jobs. Because I was the guy driving the truck, while all the kids were standing on the running board, my brothers and sisters and friends and stuff. So,
and because you're the oldest.
Because I'm the oldest, yeah.
Oh, lucky.
Yeah, so I got to sit in the truck, but then if it was a really heavy one, I had to get out. Do that was good. For the most part, I just sat in the truck.
This is Hellfire Hotsauce, roasted Reaper.
Okay. That's like Reaper too.
No. So, what was the best part?
Meeting all kinds of cool kids. Met tons and tons and tons of people. Some of them I'm still friends with today. Some of the seasonals that were there. They were there the entire time we were there. I still talk to all the time. So that's
wow.
That's without question the best part was all the people we met. I might need to pause in a minute so I can make another lime flavored.
Oh, please.
Cooling beverage.
You can say we've had 4 wings. I don't think you need to make space yet. No. All right, number 5. This is Los Calientes. Is that how you say it? I'm not very good at Spanish.
I'd say so, yeah. Sure, why not?
Okay. 4 was easier than 3. What is the craziest thing you've seen working in the campground?
There was one I didn't see, thankfully. We did have somebody die at the campground. They drowned.
Oh no!
Yeah, somebody drowned. The craziest, or maybe other saddest thing, we would have people that would stay for the whole summer in a tent and then just abandon all their stuff, and it was sad. You could see some of that kind of thing. Craziest stuff. You'd see people try and go down the boat ramp with a 2-wheel drive pickup truck and get stuck, and we'd have to pull them out. One of my favorites was the people with the brand new rigs that would show up and they couldn't back it up. And, here's 13-year-old Jim backing up the camper.
Really? Actually, one thing.
So that was fun.
You're meant to be struggling with this, not me. One thing I found interesting is you actually rigged up a hitch to a front.
Oh yeah,
truck.
we were talking about that.
You told me about this. Yeah.
We had this absolute piece of crap. It was a '66 Toyota Land Cruiser, the ones that look like a Jeep. and sorry, had a hitch receiver on the front, so we could like weave campers into the travel trailers into spots that were just really challenging to get them into. I think it was just an absolute piece of crap. The floors were rusted out and whatever, but it served a purpose.
But it's easier having the
it's way easier.
The turning wheels right next to the hitch.
It's super easy.
Let's eat another wing.
Maybe 2. I'm hungry.
Okay.
What's this?
If
one?
you talk enough, this can be 2.
Okay.
Tears of the
Tears
Sun.
of the Sun.
Tears of the Sun.
Tears of the Sun, Private Reserve.
Wow.
Does it say what the hot? Oh no.
It's changing. It's changing.
Ghost Scorpion Pepper.
I have a fresh napkin, Larry.
The Private Reserve has the same delicious blend
No, I
of
can't.
tropical
He's not gonna
fruits
let me have
of
it
the
now.
original, but with a scorching burn.
Oh, thank you, man.
Okay, right now, so I need to go now.
Do I get to have a second one now? We had the Private Reserve, or the Tears of the Sun. Yeah, Private Reserve. It's starting to taste a lot more of the.
Oh, that's really nice.
It is. Those like darker, earthier peppers. They got a little bit to them.
One thing I will say about these, I thought they were just going to be hot. These actually taste
No,
good.
I think that's what we're going to find out in a minute, that they are just hot.
That one hit Lawrence.
Oh, that took a minute, and now it's like breathing in fire.
Wait, which one are you at?
Well, I decided to have another one. I'm having honey badger mustard, honey mustard. That's delicious.
What one are you on, Lawrence?
I'm still on the Tears of the Sun.
I'll work on talking.
What advice, I'm sure you probably have quite a bit, what advice would you give RVers after being the guy who owns or runs a campground or works at the campground?
Yeah, so my family owned the campground. I was a kid. I clearly didn't own the campground.
Your family owned the campground.
Yeah. That's some good advice. That's a tough one. Don't bring beer. Don't bring firewood. We would be more than happy to sell it to you in the camp store.
Did that help towards making it profitable? Obviously, you didn't do the accounts, but
I had to have. We had an arcade and everything, and yeah. So like we were buying everything with quarters in the winter. No, just come and enjoy what's at the campground. I think that's really important. And then like don't go to a cool campground and just go out and see the area. That's important too. But they often offer a lot of fun amenities. Swimming, boating, that kind of thing. Being on the lake, going fishing. So come prepared to actually spend some time there. I think that's really important.
So especially for the family-owned ones, I mean, obviously it's important to you. Oh man, this one's too much for me. Honey badger.
The next one's supposed to be terrible.
Wish I didn't ask you this question, but so for you, it's like Harvest Host. Like, have you heard of Harvest Host?
No, I don't know what that is.
You saw our video though, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Is this the one where people stay in your yard?
No,
No, that's
that is
boondocking.
Yes. Is my face on fire?
This is going to go downhill really fast, so ask whatever important question you have now.
Okay, so would you say that supporting the local campgrounds is an important thing by doing all those things, buying the beer, paying for renting kayaks, whatever it might be?
It's so important. So important. Don't bring your own firewood. Most campgrounds don't let you do that. I don't believe anyway, but they strongly discourage it because that is where they make a lot of their money. So that is important.
I'm going to ask a question. You need to make this last 3 wings.
No.
I think there's something in my eye. Okay.
I'm sorry, that's loud. Gotta have more of my zesty beverage. Yeah, no, and you mentioned the local campgrounds. We had a lot of people that were local that would come. Obviously, people came from out of state, but there were, of course, lots of local folks too, which was always awesome. Seeing kids from school and people you knew in the area, that was always really, really cool. So, what's Harvest Host?
So Harvest Host is you pay for a membership, and then lots of businesses sign up, like wineries, and then you can stay at the wineries either in their parking lot or they might have reserved spaces.
I don't like that at all. I don't like that or Walmart.
You'd go to a Walmart.
No, I wouldn't do that or Walmart.
Why?
Because they don't have to have a campground license. They don't have to have shower facilities. So per number of spaces you have, and I'm assuming this is in all states, it was in Maine, you have to have shower facilities. Toilets were less of an issue, but you of course had those as well.
We can have a wing.
I don't want to eat the next one yet.
So that's an interesting perspective from us as RVers. It's great because we can stay there for free as long as we go in and buy and support.
Yeah, but
business.
imagine if if you own the campground up the street that charges $50 a night to stay in wine country or whatever. I don't know what it costs for a space these days, but and then the winery up the street is giving away free spots right in the vineyard.
I wonder if that's why they're very strict on the one night stay.
They probably are, and they probably. I feel like I remember my dad saying it was like limit of if you had more than 8 campers in a place at a time, it had to have showers and stuff like a camper.
Oh, okay.
But no, I don't like that at all. So you're paying money and staying in cool places for free, and the campgrounds nearby aren't getting that money, and that sucks.
It's a very good point. I didn't think about that.
What sauce is this?
Oh, are you on the
You
third
can
one?
read it. Oh, yeah.
This is a Da Bomb Evolution. So the interesting thing about this, before I eat it, I'll tell this story. If you've watched the show, you'll notice this bottle is different. The company Heatonist, that's the purveyor of all these other ones, they won't carry the one they use on the show, but this one's equally hot. Just it's a natural one versus an extract. They won't sell the extract hot sauces. All right. Why are you laughing at me, man?
No, it's just fucking stuff.
Just hurry up.
Oh, pretty good.
Are you not going to eat that way?
Got ketchup on it now. I want to eat the whole thing. That's pretty tasty.
Okay.
Whew.
Could I ask one more question because I don't think I can do it anymore. Yeah, don't. That's horrible.
I thought it was good.
No, it doesn't even taste nice.
It does taste nice.
So, owning a campground
As a kid, I didn't own a camp.
has that. Well, stop making this longer. Has it put you off? You currently are not an RVer. Is it because you worked on your parents' campground that has put you off RVing, or do you think that you wouldn't be an RVer anyway?
I don't think I would ever be an RVer. My idea of like roughing it is like a Holiday Inn. If there's not a drinks bar in the room, I'm not.
You can buy RVs with bars.
Why? No, people brought a lot of alcohol to the campground.
I bet they did.
Well, first of all,
So you would never own an RV?
hell no.
So even though they're luxurious and things, do you think it's just the setup and getting there and moving around that you wouldn't?
Exactly, I wouldn't enjoy that in the least. I want to hop on a plane and go somewhere and enjoy it, and then come home.
I can't ask any more questions. I'm
What's
tired.
your favorite thing about having an RV?
Please don't make me talk. I'm going to be.
We have to do this one still.
I haven't finished
No.
the last one.
I know I'm supposed to point at this camera, or that camera over there, and have my minutes at the end, but he's suffering through that wing. Check out Duck Puddle Campground. It's in Noblesboro, Maine. It's run by the Grimes family. They're really amazing people.
So actually, talking about that, you also mentioned that you stay in touch, or you know them,
Yeah,
or your
yeah.
parents stay in touch.
Oh,
or-
yeah. I'll get your dab for you.
Thanks.
I want to wipe a little of that off. They were seasonals there before we even owned it. I'm sorry.
I can beep it out.
And when my parents went to sell it, they decided to buy it. We got to do this last one. Cheers.
It's lovely. You've done the last one. This camera.
I already did it.
This
for
camera.
You. Go see Duck Puddle Campground, Noblesboro, Maine. Thanks, Mel.
Family owned, lovely people.
The Grimes family.
We've never been there, so I can't overlay any clips of the place, but
It's really cool. They got a lot of great things for families. Beautiful spots on the lake. Yeah.
All right, we need to end here because I need to go and cry. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate your time. Thank you, Mel, for the wings and setting all this up. Got milk.
Cheers.
We might see you next week. So that's still recording. Okay, so it's customary on the last wing to put one little extra dab on it, and that's why it's called the last dab.
Don't do it. Don't do it.